Hello and welcome back to EFA, that is Engineering for All. And in this lecture, we'll discuss that what are the SOP and POS, and then we'll see that what are its standard and canonical forms. Okay, so first of all, let us see what is SOP. In the previous lectures, I have already discussed in a brief about SOP and POS. So we'll discuss them again over here. So when you talk about the SOP, when two or more product terms are summed by the Boolean addition, the resulting expression is the sum of product terms, right? So here's an example over here. You can see that we are having AB plus ABC, right? So this is an example of sum of product. Similarly, this example is also the sum of product. You can see over here we are having the products over here A and B. This is the product form. ABC is again a product form, and then we are taking their sum, right? So it means this is the sum of product, right? So similarly over here we are having ABC plus C bar DE plus B bar C D bar, right? So these three are the products and we are taking their sum. So this type of equation, whenever we are having this type of equation where when we are having the product terms and they are added to each other, right? So that this type of expression is known as the SOP type of the expression, right? So now in the SOP type of expression, you can see over here that in this expression we are having some complements, right? So we are having D complement over here, B complement over here, and we are having C complement over here, right? So all these complements are on the individual terms, individual variables, right? So they are not on complete term, right? So we can say the complete ABC complement is not there, CDE complement is not there, right? So whenever we are having the expressions in which the terms are having complete complements, they do not come under the SOP type of the expression, right? So we will be having only those type of expressions as SOP in which the variables are individually having the complements, or they do are not having any complements on them. Okay, so this is one of the condition of the SOP. Secondly, when we talk about the SOP type of the expression and we need to draw the diagrams or the circuits out of these type of expressions, there is a hierarchy for utilizing the logic gates. So what is that hierarchy? First of all, from the expression we need to see that how where the NOT gates are there. After that we will move on to the AND gates, and then we move on to the OR gates, right? So suppose you are having this expression, right? So in this expression you can see that we are having three number of NOT gates. First of all, we are having C over here, B over here, and D over here, right? So which are having the complements over them. So these three variables are having complements, so there will be three NOT gates for converting the B, C and D into their complements. After that, after getting the complements, we need to use the AND gates, right? So after NOT gates we will be having one AND gate for ABC, second AND gate for C bar DE, and third one for B bar C D bar. Okay, so after that we will be having, after getting the outputs from the AND gates, we will be having the OR gates, right? So the hierarchy will be NOT gate first of all, then the AND gate, then the OR gate, right? So there is an example over here, right? So none of the NOT gate is not drawn over here, right? So but if we are having the NOT gate in the expression, then first of all we need to draw the NOT gates, right? Then the second part will be the AND gate, and the outputs from them, they will be passed through the OR gate over here, right? So this you need to understand first of all when we are supposed to make the circuits out of the SOP type of the expression. Okay, so next is standard or canonical SOP form. So first of all, we need to understand what are the standard and canonical form. Then we'll understand that how to convert an expression into its standard or canonical format, right? So suppose you are having an expression over here. Okay, so we are having A B bar C plus A bar B bar plus A B C bar D, right? So in this whole expression, first of all we need to see that how many number of variables are there, right? So you can see over here we are having A, B, C and D. So in total we are having four number of variables A, B, C and D. Those variables can be in a straight format or they can be in their complemented format, that doesn't matter, but they should be there right in the expression. So first of all we are having four number of variables. Now if we look at this expression, whether this expression is a standard or canonical form, no it is not. Why it is not? Because now in this expression we are having three sections. This is the first section, second section and third section. In the first section or the first part, you can see that out of the four variables D is missing. In the second part, out of the four variables C and D both are missing, and in the third part all the four are present, right? So there can be cases in which in the third part one or two or any number of the variables they can be missing, right? So this type of expression is not a standard or the canonical format, right? So if we want to convert this into standard or canonical form, we need to add the missing variables in these parts. Okay, so for that what we have to do is, now suppose we are having A, B bar C. Let us take the first part over here, right? So we are having A, B bar C. So D is missing over here, right? So to implement D or to add D to it, what we can do is, so if we multiply this part with 1, right? So will it make any difference? No, it will not, right? So we can multiply A, B bar, C dot 1 we can do, right? So that one is for D, the D part, right? The D variable, right? That is that can be implemented through 1 over there. So A, B bar, C dot 1 will be there, and that 1 stands for D, right? So how can we write D over there? So D, that 1 can be written as D plus D bar. So let us first of all move on directly to the its solution, so that you can understand this. And so we are having A, B bar, C plus A bar, B bar plus A, B, C bar, D, right? So in the first one we are adding 1 over here, dot 1 is done over here, and that 1 stands for D plus D bar. So D plus D bar is equal to 1. Okay, in the second one we are having A bar, B bar and C and D are missing, right? So we have to add C and D over here. So what are the values for C and D? So for each C and D we need to put two ones, right? In we can say the product with B bar and C bar. So we can say we are having A bar, B bar dot 1 dot 1. The first one stands for C plus C bar and second one stands for D plus D bar. Okay, in the third term, right, all the four variables are present, whether in the straight format or in the complementary format. So we need not to add any ones to it, right? So we'll be having A, B, C bar, D as it is, right? Okay, after that what we have to do is we have to open these brackets and to multiply these all together, right? So we'll be having A, B bar, C, D plus, sorry, A, B bar, C, D plus A, B bar, C, D bar from the first one, right? After that, from the second we will be having A bar, B bar, C, right? So we have first of all opened this bracket. So we will be having A bar, B bar, C into D plus D bar plus A bar, B bar, C bar into D plus D bar, right? So this is again the same one, right? So again opening these two brackets, right? So we will be having, ultimately we will be having these expressions. Okay, so after getting this complete expression over here, what we have to do is we have to check this expression that none of the parts they are repeating. Okay, so if they are repeating, they have to be utilized only once, right? You have to add them only once if they are coming multiple number of times. Okay, so let us see that we are having A, B bar, C, D over here. So whether it is coming in the expression or not in any other place. So we are having A, B bar, C, D bar. No, it's not coming. Here also not coming. Here also not coming. Here also not coming. So in this way you need to check all the terms, right? So none of the terms are repeating, right? So if they are repeating, you have to use them only once. Okay, so this is this expression, right? After removing all the repeated terms, right? So whatever you are left with, that will be your standard or canonical SOP form. Standard or canonical SOP form. So in this expression you can see all the terms, right? So all the parts of this expression, they are having all the variables. So this is having ABCD, 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 and all the expression the parts are having the four variables, that is A, B, C and D completely, right? So this is the standard or canonical SOP. Okay, so let us move on to the next part. Next is the PUS. PUS means product of sum. Okay, so product of sum means now we are having the terms in term of their sums and we are taking the products, right? So suppose we are having this is an example of the PUS, right? So we are having A bar plus B. This is one sum where we are using the OR gate. Okay, and this is another sum again we are using the OR gates, and we are having A plus B bar plus C, and after taking their ORs, right? So we are what we are doing is we are taking their products, right? So therefore this is product of sum, right? Similarly, this is another example of the product of sum type of the expression. Now in this case what you need to do is, now suppose again here also the thing which we have discussed in the SOP type of the expression, again you can see that we are having the NOT gates only on the individual variables. We are having B bar, we are having C bar, we are having D bar, right? So we cannot have the complement on a complete term, right? So C plus D bar plus E cannot have a complete complement over them, right? So if that type of expression is there, then that cannot be a type of the PUS type of expression. This we need to understand. Okay, now if we are having any type of PUS type of expression and we need to convert it into the circuit, so first of all what we need to do is, then there is again a hierarchy, right? So first of all we need to find the NOT gate, and after getting the making the NOT gates, what we have to do is we have to add the OR to it, and then we have to add AND gates, right? So first of all we need to convert B, C and D into their complement, so we have to implement the NOT gates, right? So when we are having the outputs from them, right, they are ORed with the A, then B bar and C bar. Then on this and on the for the second term we need to have C plus D bar plus E and so on for this one also, right? So the hierarchy is we need to have NOT gate first of all, then we need to have the OR gate, and after getting the outputs from the OR gates we need to take their products, right? So there will be the AND gates implemented after the OR gate, right? So you can see in this circuit, right? So if we are now this is the expression over here, you can see there is no NOT gate over here. If it would have been there, we need to have put the NOT gates first of all. We need to get the outputs from them, and whatever the outputs are, they are given to the OR gates first of all, right? And after getting the outputs from these OR gates, the outputs will be ultimately given to the AND gates, and then we will be having the final expression, right? So this is the difference between the PUS and the SOP type of the expressions, right? In SOP we were having AND in place of OR and OR in place of AND, right? So this is the difference in the hierarchy of implementing the you can say the logic gates, right, when we are making the circuits out of the expressions. Okay, so next we need to understand the canonical and standard format of the PUS, right? So in this case what we need to do is, again the funda is same, right? So we in the SOP we were having the product sum of product, right? So and in each term we can say we have done the AND product with 1. Now in this case what we will do is we have to do the OR product with 0, right? Now suppose we are having this as our expression, right? I will straight away come to the you can say the example, right? So let us say we are having this example over here. We are having A bar plus B plus C, right? And we are having the product with B bar plus C plus D bar, right? So in this case you can see that how in this complete expression we are having how many number of variables. Again we are having 4 number of variables, A, B, C and D. Okay, A, B, C and D, 4 number of variables are there. Okay, so in this first term we can see that D is missing, and the second term we can see that A is missing. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to add D to the first term and A to the second term. So can we add 0 to this term and 0 to this term? That is 0 will be there for D in this first term, and that 0 will be there in the second term for A. Okay, so we can see we will be having A bar plus B plus C plus 0, and that 0 stands for D into D bar, right? So whenever we have D into D bar, this is equal to 0. Okay, okay, according to the rules and laws of the Boolean algebra, right, this will be equal to 0. Okay, on the second hand, on the second term, we will be having a into a bar plus b bar plus c plus d bar, right? So this again will be having the value equal to 0. So this ultimately will not make any effect on the complete expression. Okay, so output will be equal, will be the same, which we must be having in the with the previous expressions. Okay, so now if we take a bar plus b plus c as a single term and take d into d bar as the second term, right? So can we use the distributive law over here? Yes, we can use, right? So the ultimately opening this, or we can say expanding this term, we will be having a bar plus b plus c plus d from here, and for the second time we will be having a bar plus b plus c plus d bar. Okay, so from here only. So first of all we were having d, and second we will be having d bar. Okay, so moving on to the second term, we will be having a plus b bar plus c plus d bar from here, right? So this will be the first term coming from this we can say expression, and this term will be equal to a bar, right? So there was a over here, and there is a bar over here, so this will be equal to a bar plus b bar plus c plus d bar. So this will be, you can see in all these four terms we are having all the four variables. We are having a, b, c and d, a, b, c and d, a, b, c and d, and a, b, c and d. So this is the standard or the canonical form of the POS. Okay, so I hope you people must have understood the difference between the SOP and POS, and what is the difference between their canonical formats, and how to achieve the standard and canonical formats in the SOP and POS. Okay, so moving on to the next very important terms that are known as the min terms and the max terms. Min terms and the max terms. Now when we talk about the SOP and POS type of expressions, now suppose you are given any we can say expression, and you are asked to draw its circuit, right? So that circuit will be exactly give the same output with the both SOP and POS when their terms are different. Okay, so we'll understand this thing with the help of these min terms and max terms. Okay, look, so let us say that we are having three variables, right? So a, x, y and z, there are three variables, right? So three variables means three inputs are there, and if we are having three inputs, it means we are having three number of bits which are coming as the inputs. Okay, so if you are having three number of bits, then how many number of combinations can be there? There can be in total 8 number of combinations, because 2 power 3 is equal to 8. So if you are having 8 number of combinations, the range of these combinations will be from 0 to 7, right? Because we are having 0, therefore it will move on to 7. Okay, so if we are having a three number of bits in the combinations, so their combinations will be 0 0 0, 0 0 1, 0 1 0, 0 1 1, 1 0 0, 1 0 1, 1 1 0 and 1 1 1. Okay, so these are the 8 combinations which can be there with the help of three number of bits. Okay, so when we talk about the SOP type of the expression, in this case we are having the terms which are there in the XOP type of expression. These terms are known as the min terms. Okay, so what are the min terms? Now suppose we are having x, y and z equal to 0 0 and 0, right? So each each 0 which is coming in the min term, that will be having a complement over it, right? So we are having 0 0 and 0 over here, so these min terms will be expressed as x bar, y bar and z bar. And when we are having 0 0 1, it will be x bar, y bar and z. So z is, because z is equal to 1, therefore z is not having any complement over it. So in this way we can have all these min terms which are the part of the SOP type of the expression. So whenever we are having the expression in term of the SOP, and we are having three number of variables which are constituting the function, right? The min terms will be from these combinations, these 8 combinations only, right? And when you talk about the min terms, they are designated by small m, right? So this will be for small m0, m1, m2, m3, m4, m5, m6 and m7, right? So this actually, if we look over in these combinations 000, this actually stands for 0, right, in decimal. So this one is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So these min terms, they actually denote that decimal number itself, right? Okay, now when we talk about the POS type of the expression, POS is exactly the opposite of the SOP. Wherever there are 0, 0 and 0, we will not be having any complements on x, y and z, right? So complements will be there only where we are having ones, right? And in this type of we can say the max term, when we talk about the max terms, we will be having the plus sign between them, that is we will be having the OR gate in between them, right? So this is exactly the opposite of the POS, or we can say the min terms which are there. So now if you are having x bar, y bar and z bar, for x, y and z equal to 0, 0 and 0, for the max term we will be having x plus y plus z, right? So you can see over here, whenever we are having 0, 0 and 0 over there, right, for the max term is not having any complements over there. And wherever we are having the 1, 1 and 1, the max terms are having the complements over there. So this is the way to designate the max terms, right? So when we, the designation for the max terms are this is equal to this is actually the capital, they are denoted by the capital M, right? So capital M0, capital M1, M2, M3, M4, 5, 6 and 7, right? So these are the designations for the max terms when we talk about the POS type of the expressions, right? Okay, so let us move on to the first example in the min term and the max term max terms, right? So let us say first example says that express the boolean function f is equal to a plus b bar c in a sum of the min terms. Now when we talk about the min terms, it means we are talking about the SOP type of the expression, right? So we can say that we are having f is equal to a plus b bar c. So first of all, what we need to do is we have to convert this expression into the standard or the canonical format, right? So what we will do is, in the first term we can see that b and c both are missing, right? And in the second term a is missing, so we need to first of all add them. So here you can see this one is for b, this one is for c, right? And this one is for a, right? So this one can be written as b plus b bar, this one can be written as c plus c bar, and this one can be written as a plus a bar. So opening these brackets, ultimately we will be having this expression, right? Now in this case you can see that one of the terms will be repeating. You can see over here a b bar c and a b bar c, these two terms are repeating, so we need not to take these two times, we have to take them only once. Okay, so ultimately we will be having abc plus abc bar plus a b bar c plus a b bar c bar plus a bar b bar c, right? So if we look at this expression ultimately, right, so we need to judge that what can be the min terms. Now you can see over here we are having ABC. So ABC means that A is 1, B is 1 and C is 1. When all the three terms are 1, therefore we will be having the value equal to 7. So therefore we will be having the min term equal to 7. So M7 will be there, plus from here we will be having 110. So 110 stands for 6, so it will be equal to M6. This is 101, this because we are having complement over here, so complement stands for 0. Okay, so 101 stands for 5, 100 stands for 4, and 001 is there, it stands for 1. So we will be having M7, M6, M5, M4 and M1, right, having the OR gates between them, right, as the min term. So if we have to write this expression, how can we write this expression in SOP? So this can be written as, first of all you need to say that how many number of variables are there. So we are having 3 number of variables, that is a, b and c. So f is a function of a, b and c, so this can be written as f in bracket a comma b comma c is equal to, the summation sign is there. Now this summation sign, this actually indicates that this expression is a SOP type of expression. If it would have been the POS type of expression, then there would have been a pi sign over here, right? So in the next example we'll discuss that also. So there is a summation sign over here. So what we have to do is we have to arrange these numbers in the ascending order. So summation bracket start 1 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 and 7 are there, right? So this is the ultimate SOP type of the expression which is derived from this one, right? Okay, so next example is express f is equal to xy plus x bar z in a product of max terms form, right? So we need to first of all find the max term, right? So max term of how to find the max term? First of all, we need to convert this into the POS type of the expression. So we are having f is equal to xy plus x bar z, right? So if we rearrange this one and taking and using the distributive law, we can have xy plus x bar into xy plus z, and then after rearranging we will be having this expression where we can see that x plus x bar is equal to 1. So we can eradicate this one, we can ignore this one, we will be left with only these three terms, which are y plus y, x dash plus x plus z plus sorry, y plus x bar into x plus z into y plus z, right? So these three product terms are there, right? So this is the first sum having the product with this one, and this is the second sum having the product term with this one. Okay, so in these three terms we need to find that which of the variables are missing. So looking at this expression, you can see that in total we are having x, y and z. Yes, so we are having three number of variables. So we need to find the missing variables in all these three parts. So in the first part we can see that z is missing, in second part y is missing, and the third part is x is missing. So we need to add, right, a 0 to them. So this 0 will, for the first one, will denote z into z bar, and this one will denote y into y bar, this one will denote x into x bar, right? So again, using the distributive law over here and opening the brackets, not opening the brackets, but using the distributive law, we will be ultimately having this expression as a whole. Okay, so after getting this expression, we first, now again need to find that which of the terms are repeating. Okay, so x bar plus y plus z, right? So this is, now this is repeating, right? So x bar plus y plus z is repeating, this one is not repeating, this is again not repeating, this is again not repeating, only this first term is repeating. So ultimately we will be having these as our expressions. Okay, so from here again we need to find the values, right? So what are the values? I told you in the previous slides that wherever there is a complement, there it will be equal to 1 in POS type of expression, and wherever there is no complement, it will be considered as 0, right? So this will be equal to 1 0 0. So what is 1 0 0? It is equal to 4, right? So this is the capital M stands for the max term, so max term 4 is there. From here we will be having 1 0 1, so this is 5, this is 0 0 0, this is 0, and this one is 0 1 and 0, right? So this will be equal to M2. Okay, so again rearranging, right, and seeing and rearranging these max terms, and let us see that what the final expression is. So ultimately you can see over here that we are having three number of variables. So f is a function of x, y and z, and it is equal to pi over here. So you can see that we are having pi. This pi stands for POS. Wherever there is a pi, it means we are talking about the POS type of the expression. So rearranging these numbers, we will be having 0, 2, 4 and 5, right? So this is the POS type of the expression that can be derived right from this term. Okay, so in this way we can express the expressions in the product of the max term form, right? So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you people are understanding this in this lecture series, and I'm making all the concepts clear to you. And please, if you like this video and the series, please share these videos and this playlist, and subscribe my channel, and please help in growth of this channel. Thank you so much.